Welcome, you're watching the Oil and Gas Report brought to you by Katch. We are at the Global Petroleum show in Calgary right now, and of course our show is sponsored by Katch. One of its advisors joins us right now, Danny Watkins. Thanks very much for spending time with us.
Thanks for inviting me out.
So you're an advisor with Katch, which deals with safety equipment and protecting the environment as well. What is your role as an advisor?
I've served in several capacities. I've helped build a business in the United States. We have a little bit different model there. We've built it throughout the Northeast United States, and I've helped in the Southwest build it. And on the more international capacity, I've served to go assess situations overseas and to find out what we need to do to enable the rigs to have the equipment to work safely and protect the environment.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your background. How long have you been involved with the oil industry?
22 years.
Okay, doing in what capacity?
Service or as a well site consultant. I've worked in both capacities. I've had a couple of different service companies I've been engaged with. I've owned them actually, and divested them, and also served on the well site, drilling wells and completing wells for a couple of years there. So, well, a little bit more than a couple of years. But
okay.
Yeah.
So lots of experience and hands-on as well, obviously.
Oh,
how have you seen things change? Katch, let's talk. They've got the safety equipment, so let's talk about how you've seen things change when it comes to safety on the rigs.
It's been a paradigm change. It's been where we used to just go out and I guess some of you have probably seen the sitcom on TV, Black Gold. We really don't do it like that anymore. You know, it's pretty rough. Those guys are out there and you know, they just reckless abandon, no care for each other or the environment, and we just drill them as fast and deeper, cheaper. You know, just drill the well as deep as we can, cheap as we can, and move on to the next one. But you know, we've really seen a shift where safety has become paramount, and now the environmental aspect has become even as close to paramount as the safety. So I'm seeing some really responsible operators, especially in the United States, take a proactive approach to the whole system, and then as a Katch advisor, it's been a beautiful marriage because we've came in and been able to help them, and it's been nice.
Is it the industry wanting to change on its own from what you've seen, or is it being forced to make some changes?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. You know, we have a lot of media nowadays, and things are magnified from what they were before. But I believe maybe they had to get pushed a little bit at the start. Maybe, you know, when the changes occur. But now I think some of them are really you know, being proactive in this situation.
Is it industry-wide yet, or are there still as you were saying, like cheap and deep and that sort of thing, as far as the wells go?
Cheaper,
Do you still see that?
Yes, we do still see it. We haven't. It's not completely adopted across the United States yet, but you know, we're making strides. We're making strides. There are some really responsible people that are out there making the good decisions now.
Now, the environment, of course, you mentioned. So we talked a little bit about safety equipment and how it can make a difference. When it comes to the environment, what sort of things are being done to try to protect it on the drill site?
Well, I can think of one operator that before they even move the drilling rig in, they'll put down primary containment over the whole location. So if there's something is spilled, it'll be on the primary containment. And then every piece of equipment that may contain liquid or a liquid connection, they would put a secondary containment there. And then even tertiary containment, such as Katch is being installed. And that same operator I'm speaking of, they go to all those measures. You know, the primary, secondary, and tertiary containment, they're all contained on their locations. They control it.
So they obviously see the benefit of it.
Absolutely.
And they care about the environment that they're working in.
Absolutely.
Why don't they all?
It's a challenge we're trying to conquer every day. You know, we got to get the message out there, and that there are real solutions for their problems. But you know, I can't tell you why they don't all do it right now. But we hope we're making a difference in turning them that way.
Do you notice much of a difference between Canada and the U.S.?
You know, I haven't spent much time in Canada, but just I've worked with a lot of Canadian company men in the Northeast United States, and they do seem very cognizant. They do seem like that it's a matter of high importance to them to be safe and to protect the environment. I think they may be just a touch ahead.
Here in Canada?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that may be the case as an overall industry. Now I can pick out specific operators and of course tell you that they pay they're at the top, you know, but I think they're probably a little bit ahead.
Right. Now, you mentioned that you also do some international work, and what countries do you go to?
Well, I've been to Kazakhstan here lately for Katch
Okay.
to evaluate a rig out in the middle of the Caspian Sea, and it was a big rig. It's on an artificial island. It's a land rig, but it's in the sea, so it's on an artificial island. They built an island to put the rig on, and I saw that when I got there, they were very concerned about the oil-based mud spillage. They were more concerned with the environmental.
Okay.
And they were begging us to come help them, and we were able to go over there and show them a real solution for a zero spill. Matter of fact, the guy actually commented to me, he said, "We don't have zero spill here, we have 100% spill here." So he had such a mess.
Right.
So we've been able to help them get a solution.
And that'll make a difference. I mean, obviously, Canada and U.S., there might be a little bit more awareness to it, but it's these other places like Kazakhstan, and we've heard about Africa as well, that they're just starting to get onto the environment movement a little bit. It hasn't been as high a profile there.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Do you are you optimistic when you look into the future as far as the industry goes? You just see it getting better, safer, and more environmentally conscious?
Oh, I'm very optimistic. Very optimistic. In the U.S., I'll just give you some stats. We're Katch USA takes care of all the U.S. on a rental basis for the oil and gas industry, and our growth is leaps and bounds in what we're able to provide for these guys. We went from 120 units one year, we doubled that to 240 last year, almost up to 300 at the end of last year, and now we're over 360 rigs that we're on in the U.S. So people are really grasping it and seem to be heading in the right direction. But we have 361 rigs, and there's still 1,200 drilling horizontally with oil-based mud. So so in 2,000 drilling total. So there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. Our oil sands. There's obviously benefits to having them here financially and what it means to the community and the country, but there's a lot of negative publicity about it. You've been in the industry for a long time. You've obviously been aware of the oil sands. Do you think that the concerns are valid, or that there's more information that needs to get out there about the operations?
I like everything to be as transparent as possible. So just from what I know, and I don't know a great deal about them, but I've done a little bit of studying and watched some documentaries on them. I think they're pretty transparent, but as much transparency as we could possibly get from them, I think that would probably be where my stand would be on it. But I think they are a good resource that we need to develop. So however we can do that in a transparent way so that we are protecting the environment, that's what we need to do.
Right. Here in Alberta, Keystone XL pipeline, obviously a big thing that we're looking at. As an American, where do you see that going?
I want to see it going to Cushing, Oklahoma, so I can connect. So I can connect this energy source to us, so we can, we can get our imports from a closer country and a true ally.
Okay. Do you think that's going to happen?
Oh yeah, it's going to happen
Eventually.
We're in election year, so it's just playing the cards right now.
Right.
It'll happen. I don't believe there's any way it won't happen.
Danny, thanks very much for your time today.
All right. Thank you.
We've been chatting with Danny Watkins, an advisor to Katch.